You know, there are some words we use to describe God that can feel, well, a little unsettling, right? Maybe even kind of scary. It's totally normal, and today we're going to look at a few of them.
I'm talking about words like wrath, justice, jealousy. Yeah, when you hear those, what comes to mind? For a lot of us, our brains immediately go to, our own flawed human experiences, unpredictable anger, bitterness. So it's no wonder these words can make us a little uneasy.
But what if we've been looking at this all wrong? What if those exact words, the ones that sound so intimidating, are actually meant to be a source of deep comfort, a place of safety, even hope?
Okay, let's jump right in. And we're going to start with probably the toughest one for a lot of people, God's wrath.
So let's just compare for a second. Human anger, what's that like? It's often unpredictable, right? It's reactive, impulsive, and it can be so destructive. But God's wrath, that's a whole different category. Think of it as settled, holy, and get this, protective.
So what does that even mean? Well, divine wrath isn't God just losing his temper. Not at all. It's the exact opposite. It's perfect, controlled, holy opposition to evil. It's his pure, determined stance against everything that would try to destroy his people. And here's the beautiful thing the gospel tells us. If you're in Christ, you are not destined for wrath. God has not set you aside for that. Instead, it's his salvation, his mercy, that's coming for you. This is so important to get. His wrath is not aimed at his children. It protects his children. It's like a shield, a security system working for you against everything that is truly evil. And that idea of protection, it flows perfectly into this next concept, justice. I mean, think about it. If you have ever felt wronged or unheard or just plain misunderstood, this is for you. This is a truth that can bring such a deep sense of rest. Because God's justice means a few things. It means he sees it all, every single thing. It means he remembers it all. No detail is lost. And he will deal with it all, perfectly. Nothing gets swept under the rug. And that is why we're told, hey, don't take matters into your own hands. Don't try to get revenge. It's not because justice isn't important. It's supremely important. It's because he's the only one who can do it right. We can let go of that heavy burden, knowing that he says, vengeance is mine, I will repay. You know, A.W. Tozer said something so profound about this. He basically said, as long as you're trying to be your own lawyer, well, you've got yourself a lawyer. But the second you let that go, the second you stand defenseless before God, you get the ultimate defender. God himself steps in. Just think about the freedom in that for a second. When you finally stop fighting to defend yourself, when you hand your case over to him, that weight just lifts. That burden is gone because God has stepped in.
Okay, so now for another tricky one, jealousy. The minute we hear that word, we think of something toxic and petty, right? But just like with wrath, we have to totally reframe this. Think of God's jealousy more like a divine guardianship.
And here's the key difference. It's huge. Human jealousy is all about insecurity. It's being jealous of something someone else has. God's jealousy is holy. It's protective. He's not jealous of you. He is jealous for you. Big difference. What's he jealous for? Well, he's jealous for his own glory, because that's where true life is found. He's jealous for your heart, because anything else you give it to will just break it. He's jealous for your ultimate good. Why? Because he treasures you. And this isn't some minor footnote about God's character. I mean, it's so core to who he is that he actually says his name is jealous. It's this passionate, protective love that just will not let you go to something that's going to hurt you.
So you have these three really intense words, wrath, justice, jealousy. Where do they all come together? They meet in one place, at one moment in history that changed everything, the cross. That's where you see them perfectly balanced with perfect love. On the cross, God's wrath, his righteous, holy opposition to sin, it was completely unleashed. But it wasn't poured out on us. It was poured out on Christ. And perfect justice. It had to be satisfied. The bill had to be paid. So in this mind-blowing act of love, the judge himself paid the fine. He took the penalty so that we could be seen as righteous. And that jealousy, The cross is the ultimate picture of it. A fierce, protective love that said, I refuse to lose you. A love that paid the ultimate price to have you and to hold you forever.
Okay, so what does this do in our actual lives? Well, it starts in our minds, right? The truth starts to push out the fear. And then it moves to our hearts, our affections, where trust starts to replace all that anxiety. And from there, it changes our will. We start to obey not because we're afraid, but because we're responding to this incredible love.
So let me just leave you with this to think about. Where are you still fighting to defend yourself? In what relationship, what situation, what hurt are you still trying to carry that burden when God is right there asking you to let him take it?
Just remember this. The God who is powerful enough to save you is the God who is powerful enough to defend you. They're one and the same. Let that sink in. Let it bring you peace.